question that we are looking at today is, how many calories can you burn in an 18-hole round of golf while walking, pushing a cart, not carrying, not having an electric cart? And is it a good source of losing weight? I have no warm-up. I don't know how this first swing is gonna go, but today is more about getting the number of how many steps are we taking. And I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about the psychology of losing weight as well. I'm in those trees. What do we got? 100 yards, 90 to the front. I pulled it a little bit. Oh, side of the hill. So this hole is a par 5. I don't know the exact yardage, but I'm already about 600 steps in. So we're gonna see how many steps total. Ooh, good chip. After a few bad shots, a little tap in right there. So we're gonna make here a bogey. Of course, you can use golf to lose weight. However, it really depends on how you're using it. For the most part, being more active is always gonna help you lose weight, except for a few caveats to that. Of course, the biggest thing is you can't outwork a bad diet. So if your diet is trash, doesn't matter if you're walking 72 holes per day, it's not gonna make up for it. At first, we're just going to look at how many calories are you gonna burn, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about the mental tricks that people play on themselves that prevent them from losing weight, even if they're walking, holding a bag, or doing whatever. Pulled it a little bit. Overdrew it. It's okay. Now, my initial thoughts with this experiment are walking with a bag is probably gonna burn the most amount of calories, even though it's gonna have similar steps to walking with a push cart. And then walking with a push cart, I think, is gonna be second. And then walking with an electric cart that does the pushing for you, it's probably gonna be third. Riding in a cart is obviously gonna be last. Ooh, what a chip. Short game on point. Now, obviously, the higher your heart rate goes, the more you're gonna burn. So obviously, walking with a bag is probably gonna raise your heart rate the most. Whereas sitting in a cart is not going to do that much because you are sitting the majority of the time. Walking with a push cart can be pretty easy if the ground is very flat, but if the ground is very hilly, then it's obviously gonna raise your heart rate a lot more. And obviously it depends on how quick you're playing and all of these different factors that can influence a lot of how much weight or how many calories that you are actually burning through your round of golf. So we're going to assume that it's just kind of a standard golf course, some hills, some flat, and that's why I chose this course to do this experiment, because it has some hills and it's a lot of flatness as well. Hopefully that's not too far. I don't think it will be. There are also some other factors involved, such as pace of play of the course. If I am all alone and I'm walking, I can really keep my heart rate elevated most of the time because I like to play quick, I walk quick, and I'm pushing the cart quickly. If it's a very crowded course and I'm walking, and I'm stopping every few minutes, my heart rate is probably barely gonna get that elevated most of the time, unless I'm going up a hill or I'm trying to catch up with the rest of the pace of the play. Given that, riding in a cart is probably going to be the least amount of calories burned because your heart rate is not getting elevated at all. Because you are most of the time doing more sitting than you are actually moving around and walking. Now, if you're doing cart path only, well, you're gonna have more steps in, but your heart rate is still not gonna get that elevated unless you're walking up and down hills and whatnot. But in that case, you could just kind of walk the course instead. You got a birdie putt, focus. But I know for some people, especially a lot of older people, it is hard for them to walk a full 18 holes, which is fine. If you can walk 9, walk 9. If you can do a little bit more, just do a little bit more. Get out and walk in between sections of the hole as well. Wow, they are pretty slow. But anything that you can do to try to get more steps in and elevate your heart rate is going to help you lose more weight. There are also some things that won't matter that much, such as which tees you're playing from if you're walking. Because if you're walking, well, then you're gonna be walking past the tee boxes anyway, for the most part. Some courses, you'll have to walk a little bit further back for the tees in the back. But for the most part, you're gonna be walking the entire course regardless of which tees you're playing, which is a good thing. So the amount of steps that we get today is gonna be pretty representative of how many steps that you can get regardless of which tee box you're playing. But it also depends on how you're playing, because if I'm walking in the woods every other shot, well, I'm gonna be adding more steps. Not too far. I think I hit a tree. Oh, I had a drop, which is fine. More steps. Anyway, if you are able-bodied enough to walk and you want to use golf as a way to lose weight, well, I'm imagining walking is going to be the key. If you're unable to do that, physically unable to do that, trying to get as many steps in as much as possible is also going to help. However, there's a lot of misconceptions with and critical errors that I see a lot of my clients make when it comes to trying to maintain weight loss that I'm also going to talk about a little bit more. That was not a great chip. One of the misconceptions that I see a lot of people make when they're trying to lose weight and maintain the weight loss is how they trick themselves into doing bad behaviors, AKA eating poorly. Ooh, what a putt. What a save for the bogey. I needed that save. Just walked off a big ass hill, so excuse me being a little bit out of breath. But the key thing that you want to remember when it comes to weight loss is how many calories am I eating versus how many calories am I burning. Naturally, you're going to burn calories, and it all really depends on your age, your weight, your height, different things like that. How much you eat also is, obviously you need a standard level of eating to be able to maintain your weight loss. When you start adding burning calories onto that, well then obviously you lose weight, right? So if I'm naturally burning around 2,000 calories a day and I need 2,000 calories a day, if I start burning 500 calories more a day, I'm going to lose weight. If I start eating 500 calories more a day, I'm gonna gain weight. That's all you need to think about. Don't try to make it too complicated and get overly invested in a lot of the different aspects of weight loss that a lot of people, especially with the media, try to do, right? Which is why so many fad diets come and go. Because the thing with weight loss is all you want to focus on is how much am I burning versus how much am I eating? Calories in versus calories out. Keep it as simple as that. How you look is determined by what you eat. How much you weigh is determined by how much you eat. That's the only thing that you really want to think about when it comes to weight loss. Now, of course, you want to look good. Everybody wants to look good. But for a lot of people, you'll just look good and feel better if you simply lose weight. And today we're just talking about losing weight, not looking good, looking ripped, looking muscular, whatever it is that you want to look. Not the fade. But we're fine. Now, before you start typing, that's not true, blah, 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 blah. I mean, my best friend was on keto and they lost 75 pounds in 36 hours. Okay, maybe that's true, maybe it's not. But I'll tell you why these fad diets such as keto and the carnivore diet or carb-free diets or Atkins, doesn't really matter why it works. Oh. Now, the main reason why these diets work to help people lose weight specifically is because they stop eating empty calories and useless calories for them. So let's take a carb-free diet, for example, just for the sake of simplicity, of only focusing on carbs. If my carbs are coming from sources such as breads and sandwiches and pastas, that's a lot of wasted calories that I'm probably gonna be eating over the amount of calories that I need per day, simply for the fact that those are very high calorie foods. It has nothing to do with carbs being bad. That doesn't matter. If I was getting all of my carbs from spinach, it would be really hard for me to gain weight because I'm not going to get enough calories in solely from spinach. Oh, come on, sit. That was a bad chip. People that go on these diets, they don't realize that they have actually just been putting in a lot of empty calories in their diet that they don't need. But it's not necessarily what they are eating is helping them lose weight. What it is how much calories that they are actually eating. You are more likely to consume less calories if I am eating whole foods that don't have a lot of extra wasted calories in them. A lot of people really want just a very simple, easy fix when it comes to weight loss. And also, a lot of people want an easy excuse when it comes to why they're not losing weight. Because they want it easy, this is why Ozempic is so popular right now. Because it makes it easy to not eat food. It's not doing anything special in your body, it's just causing you an appetite suppression. So if I eat less food, what am I gonna do? Well, I'm not going to overeat as many calories. And that's why when people come off of Ozempic, they have never learned the right behaviors to maintain the weight loss, and then they bounce back, similar to every other diet. If I change my lifestyle to only eating, let's say, spinach and chicken, it's gonna be very hard for me to gain weight. Soon as I stop doing that after 9 months, and I start introducing cookies and pretzels and pastas and breads and other things like that, it's gonna be very easy for me to gain weight. That was pretty good. Hopefully it didn't fade too much, but it seemed pretty right under a tree. What a perfect spot after a great drive to kind of mess me up. I really got to keep it low. But a lot of people, and you are probably one of these people, just like most people are. I'm one of those people where I have lost a lot of weight in the past and then I gain it back slowly because I slowly start to introduce a lot of the things that I should not be eating into my diet. So I am slowly adding calories back into my routine that is putting me over the limit of what I need, as opposed to under the limit of what I need. Maybe that's because I've been more active in the past, or I just stopped eating as much as I need to. But the fact of the matter is, I changed something, and that's good. We want to recognize what can we change to help us lose weight. And if golf is gonna be one of those things, well then I'm burning more calories, and I don't want to eat those calories away again. And I'll talk a little bit more about that after this shot. Keep running. That was a great shot. Go in. Oh, bounce right over. One exercise that I give my clients that have been successful with losing weight in the past is, and maybe you could do this right now or even comment below so you can inspire other people. I want you to make a list of the things that you were doing when you were losing weight. So if I was playing golf more, if I was walking 18 holes per week, and I realized after a few months I've lost 20 pounds, cool, I would put that on the list. And now, if you have gained the weight back, I want you to look at that list and see what are the things that I'm not doing. And I guarantee you will see a bunch of things that you were not doing anymore that you did in the past to help you lose weight. And that's the reason why you're probably not losing weight. A lot of people want to make an excuse of why they're not losing weight anymore or why they're overweight. And it's understandable. It feels like it's out of our control sometimes. But the good news is it's in our control, and we want to take advantage of that. We don't want to make excuses, just like we don't want to make excuses for a golf game. We can take pride in knowing that, hey, I have control over my weight loss, except for some people when there's certain disorders involved with that. But for most of us, I can take control over my weight loss and I can be successful with my weight loss. I just need to figure out what works for me. I did not draw, and I hit a tree. Hopefully it bounced right. Just like I am to blame for that poor tee shot, I am to blame for gaining any of this weight that I put on. And that's the reality of it. Now, of course, we can think of things like metabolism and age, and they do affect things, but for the most part, it really affects how active we are if we think about it in a very simplistic way, which is what's going to help you actually take control of your life. So if I am more active, I am going to lose more weight. Of course, it's going to be easier when I'm younger because my metabolism is slightly higher than I'm older, and it's not even worth really thinking about your metabolism when it comes to losing weight. Just think about how many calories do I need to lose weight. Don't think about what my metabolism is doing. Oh, come on, dog. Terrible shot. Just like I need to accept that I put a bad swing on that shot, I need to accept that I have been doing bad things to my body, such as sneaking bad foods. For example, if I want to use golf as a form of weight loss, but I am getting a hot dog at the turn, and then I'm getting a drink afterwards, and then I'm also getting a burger after every round, you're not gonna lose weight. It doesn't work that way because you're not burning enough to counteract how many extra calories that you don't need you're putting in. And the difficult thing with weight loss and eating is it's very easy to justify eating the wrong thing because we all need to eat. Pretty good, Chip. Think about what you typically eat in a day or in a week, and I want you to create a list of how many bad things am I actually putting in my body, whether that is drinks with too much sugar, or that is foods with too much sugar, too much carbs, empty calories, things that are not whole foods. And you'll realize a whole lot of things that I don't need in my life are going into my body. I can substitute it with healthier foods. Damn it. Once you actually have a list and you're aware of the things that I don't need in my body, well, then you can substitute things on that list for healthier things that you can add. But if you're gonna use golf as a form of weight loss, then you don't want to eat bad things and counteract the amount of weight that you're actually losing or calories that you're actually burning from your round of golf. Because I can imagine, I don't have a number yet, but I'm imagining it's not that many calories in the grand scheme. I think it's gonna be good, I think it's gonna be beneficial, and it's definitely gonna help you, but I don't think it's going to be, I'm burning so many calories I can do whatever I want. Unless you're playing like 36 holes, 72 holes per day. Oh, we're good. I hit it bad enough where it did not reach the danger. Now, realistically, most people are not gonna be playing as much golf as they could to be losing weight as a form of, say, exercise. Now, it's going to be it's gonna be helpful even once a week, but you're still gonna need to change everything outside of your life to help you lose weight alongside this, because it's not gonna burn enough calories to make that much of a difference on a week-to-week basis. Now, the good news is, you can tell your partner, your spouse, that, hey, a doctor on YouTube told me I can use golf to lose weight, so I need to go play more golf. I need to play 9 holes after work. I need to play every Saturday or Sunday. So hopefully that works for you. Oh, good shot. The next thing that I want to talk to you about is sustainability when it comes to weight loss, because anyone can go on a crash diet, lose a couple pounds, and then burn out. And that's usually what most people do. Usually most of my clients, when we're talking about maintaining weight loss, I don't hear from them about the weight loss after a month in. And they say, oh, I've been busy. They make a lot of excuses, which is true, but life is going to happen no matter what. So if life is going to happen no matter what, I need to lose weight alongside of it. If I am stressed out from life, I want to find other coping skills as opposed to being a stress eater. If I'm on the road all the time, I want to meal prep as opposed to picking up fast food all the time, unless it's very healthy fast food. But sustainability is going to be what works for me the most to get me to my goal of weight loss. How do I not burn out along the way? Now let me hit this putt. If we go back to the diets, or finding out about what experience do I have with losing weight and what worked for me, you want to try to find a routine that works for you. Think about golf, you want to think about a swing shape that works for you, if that metaphor even makes sense. But what is going to get me through these 18 holes in as least amount of strokes as possible? What is going to get me through, I don't know, let's just say this year with at least amount of calories as possible that is sustainable for the entire, amount of time. So if I find something that is like eating fruit, meat, and sweet potatoes works for me, and I don't mind that, great. The problem that a lot of people fall into is doing all or nothing, where they feel like I need to be 100% strict or nothing at all. And as soon as they slip up once, it's all out the window. You're allowed There's nothing wrong with inherently with eating, say, chocolate or a sandwich or anything like that. It's only a problem when you do it every single day, right? Or have really big quantities of it as opposed to, an occasional treat to yourself or, a cheat day, as they say. But you don't want to fall into an all or nothing pattern because that's not sustainable and you are going to burn out while doing it. Oh, too much fade, Tony. We gotta find it. I'm hitting this driver confidently today. Once you start a diet, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if you're just consuming less. It doesn't matter if you're fasting. Once something starts working and you enjoy it, keep working it. Don't change it up. Just keep doing it until you stop losing weight and then adjust what you were doing. Usually taking in less calories because when you lose more weight, you need to eat less. But just because it stops working for you after a while, doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It could be you're adding more things into it. But if you're doing the exact same thing and it stops working, you just need to readjust how many calories that you're actually eating. If you start something and you hate it, it's miserable, don't do it. Try something else. That's a good shot. The reason why I keep harping on not burning out is because a lot of people will go all or nothing, they'll crash, and they don't have the energy or the mental focus. They don't have the mental focus to keep doing it for that long, right? So a lot of people will do it for a month or two, and then they give up because it's just too tiring. If you add life on top of that, well, then it becomes almost impossible to succeed with weight loss when you're burnt out. So you really want to get into a good mindset. Even if I'm stressed from work, that doesn't mean I can't change my eating habits. In fact, changing your eating habits is probably going to help you maintain the weight loss. I mean, it's probably going to make you feel much better overall. Because having too much weight onto your body does a lot of things to your mental health. That's it. Yeah, decent. The mental tricks that we play to justify not making changes in our life. So if you have been thin your entire life, it's going to be easy to maintain that. If I gained a lot of weight, it's going to be easy for me to maintain course on that. And the more weight that I gain, the more my mental is going to be spending a lot more energy on just doing daily tasks. When I lose weight, I feel better and I feel more confident in myself as well. So if we lose weight, we want to use that to propel ourselves to sustain it. Oh man, that was the bird. You left it short. Why did you leave it so short? This is a wild tee shot. I've never played it when they had the tees over here. Well, we'll figure it out. So 9 holes down, how many steps do you think I have got in so far? I've gotten in 7,000 steps. Well, let's see how many we get on the back 9. The back 9 is more hilly, so I'm imagining it's gonna be more steps. So let's find out. Another mistake that people will fall into is giving up once they stop seeing results. And you have to try to imagine it such as just a bad hole in your round. If your round is going really well, you parred the last 7 holes and you just got a triple bogey, I don't want to give up. I don't want to stop playing golf that round, but a lot of people do that when it comes to weight loss, where they're losing weight, and a lot of the times they're losing a lot of water weight in the beginning, and a lot of easy pounds fall off, and then it starts to get a little bit challenging and they give up because they feel like it's not working anymore and it feels very defeating. So let's talk a little bit about rules to losing weight, a little bit of guidelines that you can use in conclusion. 1, if you're gonna use golf to lose weight, think of it as just being more active, which is a good thing. If you're walking, try to walk as much as possible, and if you can carry the bag, that's probably gonna be the most calories burnt. If you can push the bag, that's probably gonna be the next best thing. Even if you're just walking, that's gonna help, but don't try to think of it as I'm burning a bunch of calories. Think of it as I'm getting my heart rate up and that is helping me get to a better place. Once you get the numbers, then you just you need to figure out if I'm going to use a fad diet or if I'm just going to reduce the amount of calories that I'm eating by myself, not changing what I'm eating. The difficult thing of that can be if I'm eating unhealthy food, I need to eat a lot less and I'm gonna be hungry, which is why people gain a lot of weight. Because if I'm eating pizza, well then I can't really afford that much pizza throughout the day to lose weight. All right, we are in the car after that pretty disappointing 86. Let's talk about it. So, guess how many steps we did? We did just a little under 14,000 steps for 18 holes of golf, and we burned 635 calories, and we finished that all in 3 hours and 8 minutes. So it was a quick round, so I was moving. So you probably get a little bit less calories burned within that time frame based on how quickly you're moving, especially if it's a full busy day. But also you'll be on your feet a little bit longer than I was. So, you know, give or take. So you can use that as kind of an estimate on how many calories and steps that you would take for your course, for your local course. I chose a course that this is around 6,400 from the tips. So it's not super long. And there's some moderate elevation every now and then. So I figured it was a good balance. Anyway, that's it. Comment below what your thoughts are if you are joining in on this weight loss. And we'll see you next time.